chronicle of political events in 2022 and 2023. Chronicling events of the last 2 years, I can understand, but then what makes that atrocious? Why that title?
For this video, where I want to give an answer, and for the people where at the end of the day they go buy this book and read it, and I will find out a lot of secrets where they go on for Nigeria, and not just secrets about people like me and you, but about the politicians. So make I give una the video more they say, and when I go they see the reason why be say it dey important. Make some of una read about una Nigeria economy, because nobody is telling you the truth.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity to extra this. Atrocious Nigeria book was founded from the influence of the illegalities and the discrepancies and the disenfranchisement of voters in the 2023 presidential elections in Nigeria. And most of the times, in the politics of this part of the world, we confirm that most political stories are not written by political participants. They are written by political jobbers, meaning that the information that will be galvanized to the people across the world about that particular political event, most especially in Nigeria, is always false. We see that the politics of Nigeria is influenced with lies and lies and upon lies and upon lies. And we prefer, right now, since we know the game, we want to write our stories ourselves so that our children can be able to know a blow-to-blow, have a blow-to-blow account of what happened in any election. So we took up the issue of the 2023 presidential election. So the book, Atrocious Nigeria, speaks about what blow was carried out, who took a step, what happened, when it happened, why did it happen, who did this and who did that. So that's practically what the Atrocious Nigeria is all about. And this is it here. You can see it's practically coming with the green, white, green color of Nigeria. And it has some political thugs as an enclave of what we are trying to describe in the book. This book gives you the opportunity to understand what happened in the politics of 2023, majored in the presidential election. We talked about Peter Obi, we talked about Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, we talked about Atiku Abubakar, we talked about everybody who played a role in the activities of the electioneering process from the first day INEC brought out the register or the calendar for the elections.
All right. Well, since I haven't gotten a chance to review your book, I'd like your thoughts on, the political climate as we speak, as well as, public sentiment, the way it has evolved since Tinubu was declared president. What would you say was the defining point of the 2023 elections? And if you can also point out key events that defined the journey before the elections?
Well, I would like to say, you see, as a political scientist, I have been able to carry bags for politicians in this country. We know them after their names and where they come from and what they represent in the politics they play. We see some people play the politics of conduit pipe. And we see some people play the politics of not even understanding the democracy that we want to build in our country. And we have seen people who won elections not being declared by INEC. We have seen people who have voters card not being opportune to vote. We have seen the illegality, the criminality of the 2023 presidential elections in the reflex of issues where even INEC itself violated its laws, and we have not seen any authority calling them to order. And we have seen where the former president, in the capacity of Muhammadu Buhari, suspending the Constitution of Nigeria to force an individual who did not even meet the criteria by the result released by INEC to be declared as a president-elect. Because in the Electoral Act that we used in conducting the 2023 presidential election, it says that everyone who will be declared as president-elect in this election must score 25% of votes in 23 states and the FCT. That does not need a court case for us to describe what that means. But Peter Obi, according to the result release, did not make 23%. Did not make 25% in 23 states. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the PDP also did not make 25% in the FCT. Likewise, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who is now president, did not make 25% in the FCT. So practically what we expected from the INEC leadership was to review the results before announcing an illegal result. From our side of as students of democracy, we know and we put it to the world that whosoever was declared president-elect in the 2023 presidential elections, according to the results released by INEC, is an illegitimate president-elect. Because the three people presented as first, second, third did not even meet the criteria, the requirement of the Electoral Act to be declared as president-elect. And the Electoral Act also gives us the opportunity to review those results collated, which we did not see. All we saw was an announcement of an illegal declaration of Ahmed Bola Tinubu of the APC as president-elect.
All right.
And what we expected.
I'd like to just come in here.
Okay.
I'd like to come in here. You have used so many words like illegitimate, illegal president. As you know, the case is in court. And we would like for you to indemnify us right now, because, it's not on the platform that you would be declaring whether or not a president is legitimate or illegitimate. Indemnify us.
Practically, the rules are on ground. I know the case is in court.
Yes.
I think these are my words. It's not the words of your station. So I'm only opportune to be interviewed here. I'm just trying to let you know that the issues of this book talks about the discrepancies and the illegality of the declaration of results on people who didn't win elections, on people who did not make the requirements becoming what they contested for, which they were not even voted for. So practically, that statement is mine, and I know it's in court. I'm only telling you about what the Electoral Act has been able to put on ground for Nigerians to follow.
All right, Barry, that is understood. But even at that, yes, you are telling us what is contained in your book. But in saying that, you are on live television making statements that are rather outlandish. Yeah. This is why we're trying to caution you. Yes, you may indemnify us, but then we are even saying that as a political scientist that you claim to be, certain words and conclusions are not acceptable, and they may be beyond you because you do not have the competence, frankly speaking, to determine who won an election that you didn't conduct. INEC conducted the election, but you have, stated your views in the book. My worry, two things, is why atrocious Nigeria? Dictionary describes atrocious as something, as something of a very poor quality, extremely bad, or unpleasant. Is that your understanding of what happened in 2022, yes, 2023? And does that make Nigeria as a country atrocious? And how can you make such conclusion when even those that you might think your book supports are in court. They have taken the proper route to challenge what they disagree with. But I cannot hear from any of those who lost elections describing their country or the process as atrocious.
My book, Atrocious Nigeria, does not support any politician. It does not support any political party. What it supports is good governance, quality leadership, and the respect for the rule of law in Nigeria. There was an election organized by an umpire called INEC. INEC has a rule in an electoral act via an electioneering program. You cannot be a judge in your case, that is one. And two, you are expected as an umpire to follow the rule of the game. You don't need to let people start going to court and wasting resources of government. There's a law that says